Today's book is called Chicks and Salsa. Welcome to Storytime and Art. This book is by Aaron Reynolds, illustrated by Paulette Bogan. There were grumblings in the hen house of Nuthatcher Farm. The chickens were tired of chicken feed. The rooster took it upon himself to solve this problem. Mrs. Nuthatcher, the farmer's wife, had started watching cooking shows in the afternoons. The rooster was perched on a fence outside the farmhouse window when he discovered the solution to his problem. Salsa! Led by the rooster, the chickens crept into the garden where they took tomatoes and uprooted onions. That night, the chickens ate chips and salsa, though nobody was quite certain where the chickens got the chips. The tasty tang of tomatoes and onions hung over the barnyard, and the rooster said, "Ole!" Very soon, there were mumblings at the duck pond of Nuthatcher Farm. Inspired by the chickens, the ducks decided they were tired of fish. With the rooster's encouragement, the ducks dipped into the garden where they selected cilantro and gathered garlic. That night, the ducks ate guacamole, though nobody was quite certain where the ducks got the avocados. The spicy scent of garlic and cilantro hung over the barnyard, and the ducks said, "Ole!" The next morning, there were rumblings in the pig pen of Nuthatcher Farm. Overwhelmed by the enticing aromas, the pigs decided they were tired of slop. While the rooster distracted Farmer Nuthatcher, the pigs plodded into the garden, where they borrowed beans and chopped chilies. That night, the pigs ate nachos, though nobody was quite certain where the pigs got the nacho cheese sauce. The delightful deliciousness of cheese and chilies hung over the barnyard, and the pigs said, "Ole!" As everyone knows, when a passion for southwestern cuisine takes hold of farm animals, and so many sumptuous, spicy, savory scents collide in the barnyard air, it can only lead to one thing: fiesta! The rooster got things organized, then returned to his fence post to watch for a good enchilada recipe. The horses decorated the barn. The bull practiced his Mexican hat dance, though nobody was quite certain where the bull got the sombrero. And the chickens, ducks, and pigs snuck into the garden. But all of their spicy southwestern supplies were gone. The scallions had been stolen. The peppers had been pilfered. The limes had been lifted. But there were slurpings in the kitchen of Nuthatcher Farm. Stirred by the succulent smells in the barnyard, Mrs. Nuthatcher had decided to make tamales for the county fair. A saucy sweetness hung over the farmyard kitchen, and Mrs. Nuthatcher said, "Ole!" Disappointed, the animals canceled the fiesta. That evening, the chickens ate their chicken feed, the ducks ate their fish, and the pigs ate their slop. But while the Nuthatchers were at the fair, the rooster crept into the kitchen and borrowed a French cookbook. The next morning, the rooster ate crepes with white grape sauce, though nobody was quite certain where the rooster had learned how to read. A satisfied smile stretched over the rooster's beak, and the rooster said, "Ooh la la." The end. For art today, we're going to make corn on the cob. And this is what it's going to look like. And now let me show you how to do it. So you can get this printable and you can color all of these little corn kernels yellow. It's really like a rectangle, isn't it? So we're just really coloring this rectangle yellow. And here at the top, you can see just a little white strip. We're going to put glue right there. So once you get yours colored, you can cut it out. Okay. Now, if you have an empty toilet paper tube, you could use that just to make your corn a little bit sturdier. You can do this craft without the toilet paper tube because look, you can just roll that around and that looks just fine. If you do want to use the toilet paper tube, you're just going to roll the toilet paper tube around like this, or roll the paper around the tube, and then put some glue right here, and then close that up. So there you have our corn. And now let's make the leaves that kind of go around the corn. So I'm just using a piece of green paper, and I'm just going to kind of cut kind of like a letter V shape. So it kind of looks like we're cutting out letter V. I'm going to put just a dot of glue right there in the middle. I'm going to put my corn right on top. So there you have it. We made corn on the cob.